Hi everyone, welcome back to Man Cave Models. A little bit of a different video today. Sort of in between, as I found out with doing the last video, I'm running out of space for things as it is. In my little area, I have a load of tools that are in little pots, and every time you try and get one out, they just fall over, which is really annoying. So I need to reorganise this lot. So my wife has gone and bought some new coffee pots and tea and sugar. So I'm thinking I'm going to repurpose the old ones. So I'm going to rub these down, spray them. I've got 3 of these, so I'm going to do 1 green, 1 sand, and the other one a camouflage pattern. I haven't decided what I want to do with the camouflage pattern, and I'll just put the writing back on saying tools, brushes, or whatever. So I'll get the rest of these, get these pots sanded, and we'll do a quick job on them, I think. So we're going to give these a quick rub down, just to help the paint cure. I've had a quick look in my stash of bits and pieces, paints. I thought I had some primer kicking around, but I haven't. So I'm going to see. Probably not the way to do it, but I'm going to see if I can just spray direct onto here with the paints that I want to use. At the end of the day, they are only little pots, and they're going to get beat up and whatever anyway. So quick rub down on that one. I'll do the others, and I'll be back. So quick sanding. We're all sort of keyed in for a bit of paint. So we're going to paint these two in the sandy colours. So I think I'll get away with it because one of the camouflage patterns is quite the base colour is a sand. Not quite sure the precise colour, but as it's only for a bit of fun and it's a bit of storage, it'll be okay. So we're going to paint them, and I'm obviously going to put the lettering on for tools, brushes, odds and bods, I think. I will do that in like the military style writing. I'll show you that when I do it, actually, because if you've got a Cricut and some vinyl, it makes life a little bit easier. So I'll get these. Actually, I'll paint one on camera, but I don't need to. And yeah, I'll paint one. We don't need to. I don't need to film the rest because you don't need to see me just do the same thing 3 times. So back in a mo. So we've moved over to the paint bay. A quick thing before we start. Forgive me for the music that's going to out to start. It's better to listen to that than it is to listen to my extraction, because it is pretty loud on camera. I don't know why. And the compressor going off at the same time. It's not much fun. So yeah, sorry for the dodgy music. off camera. Been a little bit busier and done some stencils for that. So I'm going to base coat them in white. So I'll get doing that. Well, that's it. Back at the bench after the noisy compressor, well, for you, dodgy music. Yeah, so our pots, we're gonna duff them up a little bit. There we go. Our nice new looking storage pots for brushes, tools and other stuff, so we can actually now have a tidier bench. But this on that, I'm not sure we want to leave it just that actually, so I think if I can find a bit of dodgy sponge in a minute, I think we're just going to add a little bit of chip into them just to make them look a little bit old and rusty a little bit. So about that. Still like, alright, fine. When lids don't want to behave, that's the one. Now there's multiple ways of doing this, but normally do it in this sort of size scale. So what I want, probably that nice new brush, old brush I put in there, a bit of paper. So I've got some Old Rust, which is Hammer Mix Old Rust. I don't know if you can see that yet. I'm going to dab a bit on my brush. And I'm going to just bung a bit here and there. Down the bottom, and these bits. So try I mean, if you're doing stuff like this, try and not do it also uniformed. I find that sometimes I find the easiest way to do it is to do a little bit and just move, then come back to it in a bit. Just, otherwise you end up with them all just being in the same sort of areas. That's what it works for me. Each to their own, but it does work. It just stops you. Your brain just wants to follow a pattern. And I'm not brushing any of this, I'm just dabbing it just to try and get it to not be straight lines as such. You can get a big area if you want, and then bring it out a bit. Try to sort of go for highlighted areas, or raised areas where it might have been scratched and stuff. So you can do this. Most people do this with a sponge, but you can do whatever way you want to do it. Really, it's your thing. So I think a line here. On the top. There. Do the same with these a minute. The thing, well, if you don't put a load of tools and all your stuff in them straight off, you can just come back to it every so often and add a bit more to it. Not so easy on the green because of the it's the colour, isn't it? So and then it's also it's how far do you know, you don't have, if you don't want to go mad with it, then you don't have to go mad with it. This is the Old Rust is a good colour, but I find it's a little bit translucent, if you know, if that makes any sense. So they do a chipping, and the chipping's really seems got a lot more coverage in it. Two. A bit on this one. As I say, I'm not going mad. It's just a bit of fun, really. At the end of the day, it's just using up a couple coffee pots that I stole off the wife, and I'm sure she's going to chase me down in a minute. If you hear a thing on the news, man attacked over coffee pots. You know what it is. But yeah, you can add more colours to this rust if you wanted to. There's you can make it red and a bit of more red brown rust colours into it and stuff like that. But to be fair, like I say, it's only, we're just messing around really with these. It's just making use of a couple of pots. A nice break from everything else at the moment. So. And like I say, about time that corner got tidied up a bit, so a bit along this edge. And the other thing with this is we didn't put any base coat on it, so basically rubbed it down, and that was that. So you could cocktail stick, as in a minute, you could come behind yourself and scrape a few bits back to the black. I think that will do. I'll just wash my brush off quickly. Oh, I've been buying these little pots and putting water in there with the little needle type things on. And then that way, one, I'm not using so much water all the time with brushes, but two, if you knock it over, it isn't going all over your desk. But do what it's supposed to do. It's paint's quite matty, which causes it not to do what you want it to do. That's why our last thing with the Cooper wagon is to seal it with a semi-gloss, so when you go over the top of it, it doesn't do that. That's just a good point actually. That's what happens when it will just soak into the mat, because with a semi-gloss, this is semi-gloss. Look. So if I do this here, see that? It doesn't soak in, where there it just soaks in. Sometimes you want it to do that, but not always. So if you were trying to do a wash on a model, then obviously you see it would just do that, and you'd end up with a bit of a mess in there. If you wanted it to have that stain minging effect, it's not a bad thing, but I would put water on it first, then do it, and then that way it would sort of control it to a point. So yeah, anyway, that's our new tool pots for brushes, odds and bods, and yeah, I'll get my corner tidy up. It's going to take me a little while. So yeah, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's bit different, bit of fun really. You could go a lot further if you wanted to really make them look old and worn out. Like you'd chip away, do some chipping with this with lighter colour, and then back over with rust and different rust. And this here you chip like in the brown, you chip that with the sand and tie it all itself in. It's like, but at the end of the day, it's really just, this was just a bit of fun, and it does sort of show you a little bit of things like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll get back on to the Cooper wagon as soon as I've got this tool bench tidied up. So alright, have a nice one. Bye.